The tech industry has been having laying off waves recently. Amazon announced just recently that it will lay off 9,000 employees, following with Facebook's parent company Meta. Amazon has become the second leader to announce the second round of layoffs. Previously, it has laid off 18,000 employees in January 2023. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said that the main reason for the layoffs is that it has increased a large number of employees in the past few years, but the current uncertain economic situation has forced Amazon to continue to cut costs. That is, cut the number of employees. The layoffs will be focused on the cloud services, advertising, and Twitch teams. And we also see that retail giant Walmart has just confirmed that they will also cut hundreds of laborers in Walmart's 5 e-commerce logistics centers in the United States to cope with the tough economic outlook. Walmart said that the layoffs were made to better respond to future needs of customers. The only good news is that Walmart employees affected by layoffs can be prioritized to find positions in other Walmart divisions or stores. Not just the retail and e-commerce business, consulting firms are also struggling to cut costs, streamline operations, and grapple with a difficult economy. For example, the global technology consulting group Accenture announced in March that it would cut about 19,000 jobs. Another consulting giant, McKinsey & Co., also planned to cut about 2,000 jobs in February. In a recent series of layoffs in tech industry, Amazon, Google parent company Alphabet, and Meta, and also Spotify have all laid off jobs. According to Layoffs.fyi, a website that tracks layoffs in the industry, the number of layoffs in tech companies has reached about 300,000 since 2022. As of the end of March 2023, there are more than 200,000 people have been laid off in tech sector for the first 3 months of 2023. As for the reasons for the layoffs wave, it is generally due to overexpansion and overhired for tech companies during the pandemic situation. For example, the following 3 largest technology companies are all due to misjudgment of the economy in the early stage, resulting in excessive hiring. Now that the economy is not good, they have to choose to lay off employees to control costs and ease operational pressures. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said that in a open letter a few days ago, due to the unstable economic situation and the rapid pace of hiring in the past few years, we have had to continue to lay off employees. The Guardian reported that in March 2020, Amazon had about 628,000 employees worldwide. During the pandemic, Amazon employees surged to 1.5 million, driven by the online business. Salesforce co-CEO Mark Benioff also said in a letter to employees that the company's revenue surged in the early days of the pandemic, which led to overhiring, and now the company is facing an economic downturn and customers are becoming more cautious in their purchasing decisions. We can tell the virtual economy in the United States was overexpanded, resulting in a large expansion of hiring and a decline in enterprise efficiency. In the post-pandemic period, the market has adjusted from virtual to on-site, so offline productions have begun to recover, prompting technology companies to carry out those structural transformations. At the same time, high inflation in the United States and aggressive interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve have caused higher corporate financing and borrowing costs. Reduced customer spending on technology and a gloomy outlook for digital advertising have also prompted companies to cut spending through layoffs and hiring freezes. We have seen, especially in the manufacturing industry, hiring foreign workers can increase productivity and reducing costs. According to a report by global immigration service provider Envoy Global, in the past year, 81% of companies moved foreign employees to overseas offices and 80% moved employees overseas to work remotely, all because of visa-related issues in the United States. The most common working visa is H-1B, which can last up to 6 years. The tech layoffs that have recently swept through Silicon Valley have left many H-1B holders scrambling to find new jobs within 2 months or have to leave the country. In the first quarter of 2023, the company's demand for foreign employees also increased by 71% year over year, signs that companies want to reduce employment costs and increase productivity in this way. It also means that locals will continue to face the risk of losing their jobs. Taking the San Francisco Bay Area as an example, the metropolitan area, known as a global technology innovation center and a gathering place for venture capital. The median house price of Bay Area has soared from a low of $965,000 in May 2020 in the early days of the pandemic to a peak of $1.54 million in March 2022, an increase of 60% in less than 2 years. Of course, the more it rises, the faster it falls. According to the latest data released by the California Association of Realtors, in just 10 months to January, median Bay Area home prices have dropped 35% from their peak, from $1.54 million to $1 million. In January, Bay Area house prices fell 14.6% from the same period last year, the biggest year-on-year decline since July 2009, and sales plunged 38% month-to-month and 36.9% year-on-year. The wave of layoffs in technology industry not only dragged down the local property market, but also hit consumer confidence in the United States. These unstable factors such as layoffs will not be beneficial to the real estate market. Although housing prices had a sharp drop in the Bay Area in January, housing prices in February soared by 5% compared to January. Against the background of the wave of layoffs and the still sluggish housing market in the United States, a 5% increase in 1 month is considered a very large increase. If we analyze the data, we can find that the increase in house price is related to the increase in sales volume. Bay Area home sales were soaring more than 50% in February. The main reason is that mortgage rates have continued to soar in the second half of 2022. Potential buyers have been waiting for opportunities, and finally, they waited for the low rate at the end of January this year. So the housing demand suddenly increased. More people were grabbing the house because of the low rate, so home prices definitely go up. This is consistent with what we predicted in our previous video. We said that the small wave of home buying demand accumulated last year would have a small increase this spring. But the small wave of home buying in the spring will not last long because it brings down the next question. For this question, our answer is definitely. According to historic interest rate hikes, it usually takes about 3 years for the Fed to bring down high inflation. The high inflation in US soared to 9.1% in last June, and the only way for Fed to reduce inflation is through the rate hikes. But inflation in February was still too high, so in order to reach the 2% inflation target, the Fed will continue to raise interest next. Starting with the first rate hike in March 2022, it is likely to continue until 2024. So during the process of reducing inflation, layoffs will keep on continuing, and unemployment will continue to rise. According to the Fed officials' forecast, the current unemployment rate of 3.6% will rise to 4.5% by end of this year. The wave of layoffs continues and unemployment rises. That will definitely result housing market continue to fall. Since there are fewer listings on the current housing market than before the pandemic, even if the house price has fallen, home buyers will not be able to pick up the cabbage home price like they did in 2008. Home buyers will not be able to pick up those super cheap properties like they did in 2008 because we don't have enough inventory. Also, the current net value of houses is still pretty high. It is impossible for home prices to fall off like 2008, like a jump to really, really low. If now you are the first-time buyer and you really want to buy a house for your specific needs, but you don't have down payment, what are you going to do? Well, don't forget, we have those government assistance program that waiting for you. We have that LA County $85,000 down payment assistance program. We have LA City's down payment assistance program up to $140,000. So take a look at all these down payment assistance programs. Maybe you will be the person who can get the $85,000 or the $140,000 or the $115,000, depending on your income and depending on the property price you buy. So if you're interested in to see if you are qualified, don't forget to give us a call, 833-567-8899. We can get you free pre-approved. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you like it. If you like it, please give us a thumb up and also subscribe our channel so you will get the latest information about housing, about interest rate, about the economy. We'll see you next time.